Transformers Age of Extinction is a 2014 film that is directed by, surprise surprise, Michael Bay. Now, it's funny to think of a fourth Transformers film because honestly, I thought 3 was enough. And that third film felt like it wrapped everything up, and at least I thought, okay, we should be done with the Transformers movies, right? But no, they make a shitload of money, so silly me, of course we were going to keep making more films. The plot of this movie is you see after that battle in the third film in Chicago, the humans are pissed, basically, at the Transformers. They're like, alright, you guys have caused way too much destruction. We get that you're trying to protect us, but in that protection, you've caused for multiple enemies to come to Earth and kill millions of people. So, Kelsey Grammer, more specifically, him and the government have this new campaign almost, where they're killing every Transformer that they can find, Decepticons and Autobots. So, they're all in hiding until Mark Wahlberg finds Optimus Prime, and that's what gets a new war started. Now, what I thought of Transformers Age of Extinction was, I liked the movie. I did. I thought it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. First, Mark Wahlberg, who, you see him, he's sort of down on his luck. He doesn't have much money. He's a builder, inventor. He's trying to build sort of whatever is new age. He's trying to build these robots that can help you around the house and do stuff and get paid for it, but it's just not really working out for him. And he has this daughter who at first, when I saw her in the trailer, I thought, wow, this chick looks exactly like the girl that was in the third movie, Shia LaBeouf's new girlfriend, and I thought, wow, Michael Bay, you kind of have a certain type when it comes to girls. But then I recognized her, Nicola Peltz, who she is on Bates Motel. So I was like, oh, okay, I know this actress. And her character could have been a lot more annoying because she's the typical 17-year-old who wants to go out and have fun and just be out there, but her father, Mark Wahlberg, doesn't want that. He obviously wants to try to protect her. And sure, that's not like you haven't seen that type of relationship before, but I thought it was refreshing to see Mark Wahlberg play a father. I almost thought, wow, I didn't realize he was at the age to start playing a dad like this. But again, it was different for him, and he wasn't too jokey and goofy like I was afraid of. He, for the most part, at least out of the human characters, played it the most serious. Now, Nicola, obviously, she has sneaked out, and she has a boyfriend, Shane, who's played by Jack Reynor. And I've never seen him before, but he pretty much was just an Irish Chris Pratt. He looked exactly like Chris Pratt, and I never liked his character. I didn't. He was supposed to be the cool, older guy that Mark Wahlberg's daughter's dating, and I thought he would have proven himself to Mark Wahlberg as like, oh, that's why my daughter likes you. That's why I should be okay with him. But throughout the whole film, he's kind of a bitch. There's so many moments where he's about to prove himself, or he has a chance to prove himself, and he backs out, he chickens out, and he doesn't do anything. And Mark Wahlberg has to pick up the slack and do all the action. And I'm like, why am I supposed to like this guy? He's just an asshole. I did not like him. Kelsey Grammer I did like as the human villain because there was a part of me that understood his point of view of like, look, we get it that the Autobots are supposed to be on our side and save us, but look at all the destruction that's been caused from their war with the Decepticons. Why should the humans just let that be? Why should they just be okay with all that destruction that I admit, rewatching the 3 movies, I'm like, yeah, especially that third movie, they caused a shitload of destruction. However, Kelsey Grammer, his motivations confuse me. It's sort of like when you find out who he's working for and how that person's actually causing more damage than the Transformers did, and he's still on that person's side. I'm like, wait, I totally don't understand what you're doing. Stanley Tucci, though, I actually liked him in this movie. I mean, at first he comes off as a real douchebag. I think he's supposed to be like a Steve Jobs type character where he's inventing new technology. And he somehow comes up with, he can use alien particles from the Transformers to create his own Transformers. And I thought that was interesting. And then for the rest of the movie, you kind of see him just as their comic relief. But I didn't mind that because Stanley Tucci is genuinely funny. As far as the Transformers themselves go, we have Optimus Prime, of course, who I liked. It was interesting, too, to see him at the beginning so battered and broken down. But then, of course, he's the leader. I even loved where, because the humans are so against them now, that even he's like, wow, you humans are so ungrateful. Here I am, I made a promise to never kill any of you, but you know what? Fuck that. I'm pissed off, and I'm going to kill whoever is responsible for killing my friends. Also, I like seeing Bumblebee in the movie, but I did question, though. This movie is the first Transformers film to not have Shia LaBeouf in it. And I get why he's not in it. Trust me, he's kind of crazy now. But there was no explanation on where he was and why he's not here. And especially a character like Bumblebee, I kind of thought, well, isn't he sort of his right-hand man? They could have used at least an explanation. I mean, I know that sounds like a nitpick, but if you think about it, the main character of the first 3 films, and you don't even mention why he's not here, they brought in a new Transformer that's not an Autobot or a Decepticon. He's called Lockdown, and I thought the character was interesting. He's sort of a bounty hunter who's here to wipe out as much Transformers as he can because he works for this higher being. And maybe this plays into some of my complaints about the film. They're not big, it's not like I dislike the film, but little problems I had was that there might have been too much story plots going on at the same time. There was at least 3 major plots going on, and it's not like that made the film, drag the film down, because it helped not make it boring. It kept the story going, a lot was going on. But when you come towards the end, and only one of those plots gets resolved, and you still have 2 of them out there, which is obviously setting up more movies, you kind of go like, wow, really? Because this movie's 2 hours and 40-something minutes long. It's almost 3 hours. And you're sitting there for that long and we don't wrap up all of the plots going on? Wow. I will say that the action was pretty awesome, though. Again, it was never boring. There was always something going on screen. I do appreciate that. It was in 3D, and the 3D, for the most part, worked out pretty well. But what about the Dinobots? A lot of the trailers and a lot of the posters are saying, hey, we finally brought in the Dinobots, and they look badass, right? Believe me, they are badass when they're in the movie. It takes a while for them to show up, but I will admit, when they do show up, they do some badass stuff. It was worth seeing them in the film. My rating for Transformers Age of Extinction, I'm going to give it a matinee. And I know that might surprise my friends that I came with to see this screening because they feel like this should have been a full price movie. It's just, I didn't think it was perfect. I have my little complaints here and there. I do think the movie was too long. I do think there was too much plot going on. But the action was great. The Dinobots were awesome. And it made me think, alright, there is still some life in these Transformers films. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you have any interest in the 4th Transformers movie. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!